Hi, I'm Jeanita. I am on the board of directors at Happy Little Hooves Pony and Donkey Sanctuary. I am a certified racehorse groom graduate from Olds College in Alberta, class of 2011. So that is where I learned a lot of my grooming expertise, and I am going to do a sheath cleaning demonstration on Shadow here. So Shadow is in his 20s and he was a stallion when he was younger, so he didn't need much cleaning as a stallion. But as they're gelded, since they don't service mares, they actually need cleaning more often. They can develop what's called a bean at the head of their penis, and it can actually block the flow of urine, and it can be very uncomfortable. So that is what we are going to be checking for and cleaning all of the gunk and grossness that can accumulate in the sheath of a gelding. So I have two products that I use. I have a bar of cast iron soap, and I also have a commercial sheath cleaner called Excalibur. The cast iron soap is better if you have a horse that is sensitive. Shadow is not, so I'm okay using the Excalibur on him. But if you're not sure, definitely use the cast iron soap as it's a little more gentle. But I've got my bucket of warm water and a sponge, and we'll get started right away. So I start with rinsing with just some warm water in my sponge. And Shadow's done this a lot, so he is very comfortable with me just going in there. And he might drop since he's had this done a lot. So I'll grab my Excalibur, have it in my hand, right? Oh, easy, Shadow. And I'll start by getting some goop out. That's how dirty they can get, you guys. I wouldn't be bent down and as close on normal guys, but Shadow and me are good friends. So I'm not feeling any beans, just some gunk. And it can just look flaky like this. Yeah, Shadow loves this part. Yeah, he's right. It's really hard on the littles because they're small, so it's sometimes difficult to get up in there. But Shadow is very accommodating, and he loves Auntie J. It's what I'm affectionately known as to the animals. It's Auntie J. So then I'll go in one last time just to rinse it out. And one more little rinsey rinse. And there we go. Now he's shining, sparkling clean for the winter. If there's a horse that doesn't like being handled, you can have them up against the fence and kind of shoot them in, tie them with a rope, and have their one foot up so they can't cow kick at the person that's trying to clean. I actually had an incident where I got pretty much thrown across a building from a horse. So that was the one that it's okay, he needs to be sedated and or tied. So it just happens. Some of them aren't as accommodating, but a lot of them, once they realize that you're actually there to help them and it feels good, they'll relax right into it and just let you do your job. When they're young, start by reaching under their belly and going towards their sheath just to get them used to that touch, because it can be very foreign and very invasive. But out of all the horses that I've done, and I've done probably close to 3 dozen and up, I've had a handful that I'm like, nope, can't do them. They need vet, or they need sedation, or they need to be tied. There's not a lot that I can't do, because I'll also hold their tail and put weight on the side that I'm working on if they're bigger than Shadow, because it's a little tricky to do when they're this small. But nevertheless, it's a very important part of your horse health care. The largest bean that I actually have found was about this big, and it was in a gelding over 20 years old that had never been done. And as you know, Rhonda does trimming. She had been trimming this horse, and he never stood. Hated standing. After I cleaned his sheath, he stood like a champ. Their discomfort can present in so many different ways, to not picking up leads, not picking up their feet, not standing for farriers. So many different ways that it is a good thing to check. And if you're not comfortable doing it, find someone in your area that is, or talk to your vet, because they'll be able to help you out in that situation. Some geldings need doing every 6 months, others every 12. It really depends on their living environment, if they're showing, if they're being stalled, that kind of stuff. Because if they're stalled, then they get shavings and everything else up in there easier. Whereas if they're out in the pasture, it's not as bad. Mares, I recommend checking their udders, because they can get dirt and sweat build up. And sometimes they can even get ticks down there, other pesky bugs. My mares, I do about every 6 months, because they're princesses. So they get done about every 6 months. And yeah, just the same products, just clean under where their udders are, and that's all.